A friend of Joe Miner wanted us to know about this local hero who has seen and lived through so much. Miner lives in Nez Perce, Idaho, and is one of the last known survivors of the first wave of soldiers to arrive on Normandy beaches on D-Day. KXLY4's Caroline Flynn working for you with a story you'll only see on KXLY.
The Department of Veterans Affairs estimates that in the year 2036, there will be no living veterans from World War II. That's less than 20 years away. Even more reason that it was both an honor and a privilege to speak with Army veteran Joseph Miner today. What do you ask one of the last known survivors to first sink their boots into the sand on D-Day? What do you remember most about that day?
When I moved off that landing craft and there was dead bodies all over. Then the sand was solid with bodies and their blood, you know, and the water around the landing craft turned red.
Joe Miner was just 19. He'd been in Europe 7 months serving as an Army mechanic, preparing equipment for the assault.
He was going into the unknown.
Most soldiers didn't make it onto the beach that morning. Miner did, but safety was far from reach.
I had to run right over a lot of bodies and not knowing if they're all dead or not. Things like that haunt you, man.
Out of the open and shielded by a seawall, Miner, the auto doctor, became a medic and was given his toughest assignment yet.
He said, now, you're first man on this truck, so it's up to you to pick. You only pick up who you're sure can survive.
Immediately, he saw 3 men, but only had room for 2.
For that first 8 days on that beach, I cried till I didn't have any tears left, you know.
Joe says it took him over 40 years to be able to talk about that day. His wife died never knowing the pain he carried.
All my wounds are internal.
Today at 93, he embraces his patriotic side. He's earned it, but can't shake the thought of what his fate could have been.
I still think how much more fortunate I was than that big graveyard over in Europe.
Miner says he was fortunate to go back to that very beach in Normandy 15 years ago, finding the exact spot where he exited that landing craft, and having all of the memories of that fateful day return has helped him with the healing process. In studio, Caroline Flynn, KXLY4 News.
Such a powerful story. Thanks, Caroline. And we'd like to remind you that there are so many ways you can support our local veterans, especially during the holiday season. If you'd like to help, stop by any global credit union to make a donation to the Wear Red campaign. Your money will help support local organizations like Operation Spokane Heroes, which supports our military members and their families.